Good morning. Live from the Olympia School District's Knox Administrative Center, I'd like to welcome you to the Olympia School District Education Foundation's annual breakfast for the Principal's Emergency Fund. Thank you so much for joining us virtually this year as we connect still during this unprecedented time of COVID, helping students and families in the Olympia School District with urgent needs. I'm Drew Mickelson, King 5 News' South Bureau Chief. I live here in Olympia. My wife and I, Megan, have 2 daughters in the Olympia School District, so we know the importance of the foundation and the fund, and we really appreciate helping out today. Over the next half hour or so, we will show you exactly how this money that you're going to donate today will have on our community in the coming year. And as you can imagine, these needs have grown extensively over the past 6 months as our community has faced this pandemic. We also hope you will stay tuned until the end of our broadcast. We have a special treat. The well-known Nana's Pantsuit has an almost live performance for us. That is a special treat for sure. Joining me this morning for this virtual event are the Executive Director of the Olympia Education Foundation, Katie Johansson, and Board President, Jocelyn McCabe.
Thank you, Drew. I'm Katie Johansson. On behalf of the Foundation's Board of Trustees, I want to thank you, Drew, for hosting our first ever online breakfast fundraiser. Traditionally, 400 of us would be at the Hotel RL for this event. Obviously, we've had to change things up for today. Olympia School District students may be learning online this year, but many students and families face some very real challenges. This breakfast is about coming together as a community to raise funds to support OSD students and families in need. I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge how fortunate we are to be able to participate in this event in this way. We all have electronic devices and internet access, so we can stay connected during this time of social distancing. The weather reminds me how lucky we are to have a roof over our head to protect us from the elements, and of course we can keep the heat on anytime we want it to be on. So many students in our district, unfortunately, are not as fortunate as we are. So again, that's why we're here today, to raise vital funds for those families with your support.
Thanks, Katie. And I'm Jocelyn McCabe. I'm this year's Foundation President. And I want you all to know that we simply could not reach the number of students and families that we do through the foundation without the support of so many amazing local businesses and individual sponsors. And right now we would like to recognize a lot of our sponsors, all of our sponsors in fact, starting with our presenting sponsor, Verizon, our wellness sponsor, Kaiser Permanente, and special thanks to Charlie's Bar and Grill, specifically Mike and Kendra Barrett, this year's golf tournament sponsors. And thank you also to Columbia Bank, Capital City Marathon, and the Olympia Diamondbackers for their continued contributions. Thank you also to our foundation partners, Browser's Bookshop and I Love Olympia. And finally, thank you to each of this year's gracious sponsors at the following levels. At the state superintendent level, sponsor level, John, Patty, and Cameron Seib. At the superintendent level, we have several. Brewer Public Affairs, the team of Coho, the Coho team of Windermere Agents, Commencement Bank, Twin Star Credit Union, and Jennifer Ziegler Public Affairs. At the principal sponsor level, Caldwell Banker Evergreen Olympic Realty, Forma Construction, Jocelyn McCabe Public Relations, MPH Holdings, and McBride Public Affairs. And we have sponsors at the teacher level. And we have sponsors at the student level. Together, we can do amazing things for students and families in the Olympia School District. Thank you to our sponsors, and I'll change it to Drew.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Well, Katie, I know you sat down recently to talk about some of the direct impacts the Principal's Emergency Fund is having on the lives of our Olympia families, especially after COVID-19 shut down schools back in March. The fund was able to provide groceries for nearly 700 local families with a new grocery voucher program, along with many other forms of financial support when so many in this community needed it the most.
I'm Katie Johansson, Executive Director of the Foundation. The Foundation's mission is to remove barriers and enhance educational success for all Olympia School District students. As a nonprofit, we are separate from the district. The Principal's Emergency Fund was created by Congressman Denny Heck, his wife Paula, a retired principal with the district, and other community members so that principals could immediately assist students and families with urgent basic needs. Principals have a set budget, and while we do require them to log their expenses and submit receipts at the end of the year, the beautiful thing about the Principal's Emergency Fund is that it's quick and easy. It's as simple as a teacher, a counselor, a principal identifying a student with a need and then taking care of that need on the spot. Things that people take for granted, like soap, toothpaste, deodorant, socks, things that seem insignificant to many people, but to a self-conscious middle school student mean the world. We provide rental assistance for families so they don't become houseless. Sometimes families lose their home due to a fire or they need to escape a dangerous living situation. We provide assistance with utilities so that families can keep the heat turned on, they can bathe, they can have clean clothing. The need in our district is much greater than most people realize. About a third of the students in our district have significant need. We know that because of COVID, the need for the Principal's Emergency Fund will be greater than ever this year. We are so hopeful that we can continue on the success of our grocery voucher program. We also are setting aside funding for internet assistance this year. Every child must have reliable internet access to participate in school this year, and that's a need that we have not taken on in the past. Just a few weeks before school started, I already started to hear from principals asking when they would be able to access their funds to help students and families. It's gratifying to be able to help students who have real needs and to know what a difference the foundation is able to make in their lives. When a child has all the tools at their disposal, they are on a path for success in life. A principal I worked with called me on a Friday afternoon and said that he was going to help a family with groceries and invited me to come. And it was miraculous. It was the end of the month. They literally had no more money left, a family of 6. And the mom of the family gave me a great big hug and started crying because she was so grateful to be able to feed her family. As somebody who's worked in the schools, I have seen the need. It's real. I have also seen the relief that the Principal's Emergency Fund provides students and families and how grateful they are for the support.
All right, let's bring Katie and Jocelyn back up to talk about how exactly these funds are being used.
Thanks, Drew. As you can see, this past year, much of our PEF money went toward rental assistance, which includes emergency housing, clothing, utilities, and experiences that create equity. This could be anything from a student participating in a school play or sport to getting a yearbook or cap and gown for graduation. What you can't see is that this past year, PEF expenses were $10,000 greater than they have been the past few years. What's also not reflected is the $36,000 in vouchers that Drew mentioned earlier that family used at Ralph's and Bayview Thriftway, and also internet assistance. We're helping with internet access for the first time this year. So not only are students' needs greater than ever, but the foundation through the PEF is providing more assistance than ever.
And Katie, what I would like to add is the one thing that makes the PEF so very effective is how quickly we can respond. Our partners in this effort are really the district principals, the support staff, the teachers and counselors who may recognize a student or a family who is struggling or in need, and with very little paperwork, we can provide funds at the drop of a hat and make sure that student receives funds for rent, utility payments, a doctor visit, or even just a warm coat. Drew?
Thank you, Jocelyn. Now we'd like to share the story of one OSD family who was able to use the funds in their time of need. We all remember Snowmageddon, February 2019, when many people were left scrambling for a warm place to live. Well, one mother is grateful for the foundation for helping her pay her heating bill, but the impact the foundation had on her life and her family's is much more than just providing some cash and providing heat, as OSD Family Engagement Specialist Nancy Swanson found out recently.
Bueno, yo quisiera comenzar este video haciéndole unas cuantas preguntas acerca pues de los beneficios que recibió usted a través del fondo de emergencia de los directores. Y bueno, la primera pregunta que le tengo a usted es cómo se enteró del fondo de emergencia de los directores.
Lo que pasa es que cuando yo no tenía dónde vivir, estaba yendo al centro de ayuda de familia, y ellos me dijeron que a lo mejor en la escuela me podían ayudar, y ellos hablaron para la escuela.
Perfecto.
Ya la escuela me contactó a mí, y ya de esa manera fue que me empezaron a ayudar.
Qué bueno. Y bueno, señora, ¿cómo es que este fondo específicamente, cómo le ayudó?
Pues primero me ayudaron con con una semana de quedarme en un hotel con los niños, porque nos estábamos quedando en el carro, porque nos habían sacado del departamento injustamente.
Lo siento mucho.
Sí, no, está bien. Y pues ahí en la escuela nos ayudaron, gracias a Dios, como una semana.
¿Y esa fue la única ayuda que han recibido del fondo de emergencia?
Esa fue hace como 3 años, creo, 3, 4 años fue que pasó eso. Uh-huh. Y hace un año me ayudaron porque compré una pequeña traila o motorhome, no sé cómo le llaman.
Sí, señora, una traila, sí, señora.
Ajá. Y lo que pasa es que la traila no le servía nada de la electricidad, y los enchufes estaban quemando y todo estaba ya muy mal.
Okay.
Entonces, como no tenía calefacción, mis niños se enfermaban mucho. Entonces, un maestro en la escuela me preguntó que por qué los niños se enfermaban mucho. Y bueno, no me preguntó a mí, le preguntó a Yurem. Uh-huh. Y él le dijo que era porque la traila estaba muy fría. Entonces el maestro me contactó y me dijo que qué estaba pasando si la traila no tenía calefacción, y le dije que no servía, y ya ellos me ayudaron a arreglar todo el cableado de la traila, y le pusieron calefacción y aire acondicionado. Y ahorita pues mis niños ya no se enferman como antes.
Qué bueno, entonces ya los niños ya no se enferman como antes.
No, ya no,
bueno.
Ya no.
Bueno, señora, entonces pues se ve que antes pues sí había problemas de salud. Pues antes sí estaban en su carro viviendo, y bueno, entonces platíqueme usted cómo ha sido ese cambio después de que recibieron esta ayuda, cómo cambió su situación.
Pues cambió mucho, porque le digo que mi niño, el más pequeño, también me estaba sufriendo mucho de lo que es bronquitis, tenía ya casi 2 meses y no se le quitaba, y era por lo mismo que también estaba fría la casa. Y pues sí nos ayudó mucho el que nos hayan arreglado lo de la luz, porque me daba miedo que se pudiera quemar la traila, porque ya los cables estaban quemando.
Bueno, pues señora Eugenia, muchísimas gracias por haber compartido su historia, por haber dejarnos saber qué pasó. Le agradezco mucho, y pues me da mucho gusto el saber que pues el haber recibido esta ayuda del fondo de emergencia de los directores, pues sí le ayudó mucho a su familia. Eso era todo. Muchas gracias.
Pues más bien yo les agradezco a los maestros porque se preocuparon por mis niños y por mí, Les agradezco mucho de todo corazón, y también a las personas que hicieron las donaciones les agradezco de todo corazón, porque pues sí nos ayudaron demasiado. Muchas gracias.
Unfortunately, there are many more families in this district, in this community, who need that help immediately. So how does the fund make sure it gets to those students and families who need it the most? School principals, administrators, teachers, they're on the front lines of this work, helping families that need food, clothing, or maybe just a safe place to live.
Thanks for being here today. Garfield has enjoyed wonderful support from the Checkbook Fund over the years. As you've heard from my colleagues in the past, we've used this fund to prevent evictions, to put food in families' refrigerators, and to put shoes on kids' feet. The list goes on, and the amount of support this fund has provided for our community can't be understated. In the past 5 months, new needs have emerged in our community, and our support of families has become critical. Families who have once in the past been self-sufficient and independent have found themselves in very unique, challenging situations. We again use this same fund to support families in making sure their fundamental needs were met. And the beauty of this program is that we can do it immediately. I hope that you'll continue to see the great value this checkbook fund has in the health of our community, and will continue to support it.
Fortunately for us in Olympia School District, we have the Principal's Checkbook Fund that helps us meet a student's most basic and physiological needs. Over the past several months, I've never seen so many students and families that have requested our assistance to have food on their table. These families were extremely grateful to receive vouchers so they could shop for themselves, rather than have me meet them in the grocery store. We have also provided assistance with utilities and housing. Last fall, I had one family who came to me after the water was turned off. Their lives were totally upended because they could not get water for drinking, cleaning, or bathing. Through the emergency fund, we were able to pay off their bill so that the water could be hooked back up. And as a result, these students returned to class the next day. Another student was evicted from their home just as school was starting. We were able to get them a short-term hotel stay until their new apartment was ready. Literally, these students would not be coming through our doors and continue their education without this most basic help. Additionally, the Checkbook Fund has dramatically increased the sense of belonging and self-esteem of our students. Every time I'm able to meet a family or students' basic needs, we develop a longer-term relationship where trust and faith is developed. I learned about the underlying challenges of these students, and I can advocate for them more effectively afterwards. Also, when we purchase clothes, shoes, or other basic necessities, our students are less self-conscious and more ready to learn. I've seen attendance change as a result of the purchase of a new pair of shoes or a backpack. And the Emergency Fund also helps students gain self-confidence as they are able to access programs that may have been beyond their means previously. Whether it's helping to pay for AP tests or buying a book for a college tech class, the fund has been an integral part of helping students in post-secondary options. Also, students gain the opportunity to participate in activities and sports. Just last year, several students were able to get their bus fee and tickets for the state basketball playoffs. Other students have literally cried with joy when we told them they could receive a yearbook or go to the prom. These are the foundations that high school memories are made of. The Emergency Fund helps make that possible for all of our students. There are many positive examples where students were able to attain their potential with your help. For example, one student received funds for groceries, a chemistry lab fee, a yearbook, and an ASB card. While this may seem like a lot, the student's family could not afford any of these things. The ASB card allowed him to be part of their drama club. As a result, he tried out for our school play, in which he became the lead. He said it was the most amazing moment to be up on stage and never thought it was possible. Another student received funds for a college in the high school class, money for rent, and money for the parent to get their car license renewed. And this student, as a result, ended up receiving virtually all A's throughout the year. This student has also become active in extracurricular activities. A third student received food, money for cell phone bills, and graduation supplies, and ended up successfully completing the year despite the fact that one parent was deported and the mom was on disability. OHS was a real home base for her. Thank you for the OSDF for making these most basic needs possible. It It makes our job more rewarding as we see our most vulnerable students actualize their dreams as a result of this program.
I am so excited to be a part of the Olympia School District, and one of those reasons is this amazing Principals Emergency Fund. I have the opportunity to support families in need, and I've had families who were homeless and needing some clothes because their child grew out of their previous clothes. I've been able to meet families at the gas station to help them pump gas so that they can travel and come to our school. I've helped families whose homes have been burned in a fire. I'm so grateful to be a part of this organization that works towards providing equitable opportunities to those families and students furthest from educational justice. Thank you.
While I love the first week in September when we all get to hang out together at the Red Lion, that's not going to happen this year. So we will miss it, but now more than ever, we need to make sure we are contributing as a community to the Principals Emergency Fund. The Principals Emergency Fund is used at Capitol High School to take down barriers that are in the way, because connecting kids to their passions takes resources. And without that resource, we have many kids at Capitol that would not be able to connect to those passions. So thank you for all you've done over the years, and now more than ever, this resource will be a need in our community. Go Cougs.
Thank you to all of our OSD staff who took the time to share with us those testimonials. We are hoping that that gives you a little bit more insight into how OSD is using the Principals Emergency Fund every day with our students and families. At this time in our program, I would like to honor this year's recipients of our HEX Heroes Award. This is for outstanding contributions to the Principals Emergency Fund. This award honors the creators of the Principals Emergency Fund, Congressman Denny Heck and his wife Paula Heck, a former OSD principal. Katie?
Thanks, Jocelyn. There are two people we want to introduce you to right now who have gone above and beyond to assist students and families with urgent basic needs. This year's HEX Heroes are Kevin Stormans of Stormans Incorporated and Olympia High School student Nidhi Krishna Kumar. We are grateful to them for partnering with the foundation to help students and families. During a time of great food insecurity in our community, our first recipient, Kevin Stormans, partnered with the foundation to create a voucher system so our families could get groceries and other essentials from his family's grocery stores.
I'm Kevin Stormans with Stormans Incorporated. I've been born and raised in Olympia and went through the Olympia School District schools and graduated from Olympia High School. Kate called me a while ago and gave me information on the Principals Emergency Fund and was looking for a way to make the process easier for principals to utilize. And so we got together and came up with a voucher system where the principals can fill a voucher out and then they give that to the person who is in need. They come to the store and they basically just use it as cash.
Our families were able to go to Ralph's Thriftway or to Bayview Thriftway to get some groceries. And I had one particular mom that was so very thankful, huge gratitude toward the foundation because her daughter was turning 13 the next day and she was able to pick up some extra special things for her to celebrate her birthday. So the foundation's making a huge difference for our families, and we are so appreciative of that.
We're really honored to be able to be part of this voucher process and get food to people who really need it. That's what we do. We're in the food business. And so this opportunity has been really great, and I'm glad that I'm part of it.
In the midst of our shutdown last spring, it really hit a lot of families hard that rely on schools every single day. And our principal's checkbook helped a lot with different grocery needs and quite a few bills that came in that parents weren't able to make ends meet without. So we are really thankful for the principal's checkbook and just in the big and the small ways that it seems to lighten the load and allow us to walk alongside our families and help them feel a lot more successful.
I think it's important because there's so many needs out there, and especially during these times that we're in right now, there's even more pressure on people and finances and being able to provide basic needs and be able to just provide a basic need like food is really important. So I'm really honored to receive this recognition. You know, we're proud to be able to be part of that process and get food to people who are really needing food.
On behalf of the OSD-EF Board of Trustees, thank you, Kevin. As Katie mentioned, our second recipient is a sophomore at Olympia High School and an academic superstar who won a National Science Award for a project she did in 8th grade. Nidhi Krishna Kumar is committed to helping her peers in need. She found a unique way to raise money through her love of dance. Through teaching an Indian classical dance to children, over Zoom, I might add, this summer, she raised more than $1,000, which she has donated to the Principal's Emergency Fund.
Well, I did basically grow up in Olympia. I've been attending OSD since preschool, and due to various opportunities like PATs and jams, I've attended around 7 schools in the district. And so I feel like I have a really strong tie to Olympia and Olympia School District. I started taking Bharatanatyam lessons, which is an Indian classical dance, when I was around 7, so from a very young age. And it's definitely one of the things that's helped me stay in touch with my culture and sort of keep me grounded through all these years. It's definitely a big part of my life. And because of this, I was invited in sometime the summer after 8th grade to dance for a fundraising dinner. This dinner was specifically to raise money for students in India as well as for students of the Montesano School District. And so this is actually probably one of the first times I've heard that there were sort of community funds for a school district that'll help the students in their area for whatever they need. And so I knew, since I've personally been raised to always give back, I knew that I wanted to do something like this. And so the first thing that really came to mind at that point was teaching, because my sister did it before me, and then she went to college, and there was no one in our area. And so I decided to take that opportunity and sort of do both at once, and both teach my students and give them the same connection I got to our culture, as well as raise money to help the students around me that I interact with on a daily basis. I personally come from a family privileged enough so that I get whatever I really want. I'm able to do all the activities I want, like dance, and I know that there are students that aren't as fortunate as I am, and I really want to be able to help them in any way that I can, even if it's the smallest thing. And so I feel like it's really important that I just have to donate 2 or 3 hours of my time every week, and I'm able to help someone in a little way. Even if it's a small thing that they're in need of something, that they're able to get what they need because of something I did. It's not really something that I'm doing to make myself feel better, but rather that it helps people. It makes me feel nice that it does. I am very honored to receive this recognition, but I definitely feel like I'm not really the only one to deserve this award, because I was supported by a lot of people, my parents, my students, their parents, the Olympia School District, my principal, Mr. Grant. They're all people that supported me in what I was doing, and I feel like they also had a big hand in what I did, as well as all the other people that are donating to the PEF. They're also very equally deserving of this award.
COVID-19 has obviously put a strain on every aspect of the community, especially our local families. And because of that, the need for your help is greater than ever before. We hope you can open your wallet, dig deep, and give as much as you can to help these families in need.
I'm Patty Seib, and I wanted to talk to you today about why giving to the Principal's Emergency Checkbook Fund matters. We're 30-year residents of Olympia, and our son Cameron was fortunate enough to attend school here, Garfield, then Jefferson, and on to Capitol. He had caring, skilled teachers and engaged, supportive administrators, and he thrived. We were always aware the district served students from diverse economic backgrounds, but the challenges it presents became much clearer when Cameron was at Capitol and I joined the OSD-EF board. The statistics and personal stories I heard then and continue to hear now of students in our own community experiencing homelessness with enormous desire but with everyday struggle to simply make it to school are heartbreaking. When you don't have food or gas money or a warm and safe place to sleep, learning becomes difficult, if not simply impossible. Even seemingly small things like shoes to wear to gym class or proper glasses can make a huge difference to a student's future. And now there are new, more frequent, and more difficult issues to address in order to keep students engaged and on track, given what this pandemic has done to their school year and to the economy. The Principal's Emergency Checkbook Fund does so much good because it allows the principal at each school, who knows better than most anyone else, these students, their families, and their needs, to assist them immediately and directly. Like you, I care about our community, its children, and its future. With its unique history and outsized impact, the PECF is truly one of those things that makes Olympia special. I hope you'll be able to join me in giving today. Thanks.
So after hearing these stories, and there are countless more, and understanding the need in our community and the help that the Emergency Fund does for those most in need, you know what you need to do right now to support children and families during this unprecedented year. We know that when students have their very basic needs met, they do better in school, and it's really easy to donate. All you have to do is visit us online, and you can donate right now, this morning. Go to osdef.org, click on the red bar at the top of the screen, and that will take you right to the donation page.
That's right, Drew, and every little bit helps. We established a goal of raising $110,000 for the Principal's Emergency Fund, and we're going to check in and see how we're getting closer to that goal. We know that we have some pre-event donations as well, so whatever that number is, it will be boosted by those. It looks like we're at $76,000 right now, and we appreciate everyone's support. Please keep giving.
Thanks, Katie, and thank you for donating this morning and supporting children and families in the Olympia School District. We really want to thank all of our awesome table captains this morning. You can see their names listed on the screen right now. I also want to personally thank our breakfast committee, the amazing work that they put in this summer toward this. In particular, the leadership shown by our breakfast committee chair, Christine Brewer. Thank you so much for all of your time and effort in bringing this event together. And a special thank you, of course, to our OSDEF Board of Trustees. You can see them also on your screen on one of our Zoom calls, who work tirelessly to support Olympia educators, students, and families with the PEF and through our other grants and initiatives, which are also outlined on our website, and I encourage you to visit that. So I'll hand it over to Drew.
Thank you, Jocelyn. We're getting to the fun part. Thank you all for joining us this morning for this first ever virtual breakfast. It's a little weird, a little awkward. Hope it didn't feel like that at home. This is an important fund, an important event, and we're glad we can still make it happen thanks to some technology that's out there. Let's show our community how much we love and support them. I want to show this link one more time, osdef.org. Click on that red banner and you can visit the donation page. We are recording this broadcast and we'll provide a link to this morning's event on the Foundation's website and our Facebook page so you can rewatch it or share it with friends or family who could not watch this morning. They don't have to live in Olympia to help our community. And finally, we are going to leave you with a very special, almost live performance by Nana's Pantsuit. It's a local band. If you've ever seen them, you know they are tremendous. They're not only made up with members from this community, but most of them have ties to the Olympia School District. They're public servants, and they got together, social distance, as you're about to see, to give us a special performance. They were supposed to perform for us back in the spring at the Taste of Olympia event, but it got canceled along with everything else thanks to this pandemic. We hope this performance lifts you up, brings a little joy to you this morning after everything we've been through this year. But wait, there's more. The top 5 donors today are going to get one of these awesome Nana's Pantsuit masks. It says, "Wear it for your Nana." The top 5 donors today will get one of these, so that's a special treat. We appreciate everyone's support as we navigate through this new level of need in our community. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, and have a great day.
Don't write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left out or looked down on. Just try your best, try everything you can, and don't you worry what they tell themselves when you're away. It just takes some time in the middle of the ride. Everything You know they're all the same. You know you're doing better on your own, so don't buy in. You live right now, yeah, just be yourself. It doesn't matter if it's good enough for someone else. Just take some time and left and right. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. It just takes some time and left and right. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright, alright. Write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left out or looked down on. Just do your best, do everything you can, and don't you worry what the bitter hearts are gonna say. It just takes